Hey y'all, what's up? This your man Eddie Roy, the host of Music and Cigar Podcast, and I just want to say you're outside smoking with Eddie Roy. And this video will be in the playlist of Outside with Smoking with Eddie Roy. But I want to say to all the listeners and followers out there, thank you so much for supporting the page. It's been very encouraging, a huge learning curve for me trying to do everything and with the team and getting things out there to you, to everyone, all the listeners and all the cigar connoisseurs. It was a huge learning curve, and I'm looking forward to the second season. But that's not what I want to talk about right now. We'll get into the second season later in this video. But a huge shout out to all the followers and the listeners out there. Thank you so much for your support. And if you're a newcomer to this video and to this platform, please subscribe. Quick recap on the first season. I want to say thank you so much for the first guest. His name is Zach Malloy. He's a tobacconist out there in Nampa, Idaho. And he was very, very generous enough to come inside the show and virtually and discuss with us his take on music and cigars. He was very knowledgeable about tobacco, and I was very shocked. It was very educational for me. Sometimes I sit back and I listen to that show, and I take gems away from that show as well. So if you haven't already, go check out the first season. Zach Malloy. The second guest I had on there was DJ Reek. He's a professional DJ out here in Huntsville, Alabama, where I currently reside. Very knowledgeable about music. I first met him a long time ago, back in I want to say maybe 2005, 2006, and he to see how he's grown from working at a record store to spinning records and hustling and doing his thing was an honor to have him on the show because I love music. The third guest that I had on to the show was none other than the first SOTL of the show, which is Lady Cigarillo. Lady Cigarillo resides in Toronto, Canada. Very knowledgeable sister. I enjoyed having her on. I would love to have her back on the show. Or if you, she set the bar high for all the SOTLs, future SOTLs, which if you don't know by now, stands for Sister of the Leaf. She set the bar pretty high for the Sister of the Leaves to come on to the show and chop it up about music and cigars. Another artist that I had on to the show was none other than a great artist by the name of Terry O'Throne. He resides in Huntsville, Alabama. If you haven't checked out his music by now, you definitely should go check it out. It is streaming on all platforms. Anywhere you consume your music, I'm pretty sure it's there. And the last guest, last but not least, would be Mr. Eric Bay. He is a cigar brand owner. He has his own brand, and he resides out there in Chicago, and he has a cigar out there, cigar line out there called Black Star Line Cigars. Very knowledgeable brother as well. In case you haven't noticed, I'm actually smoking one of his cigars right now. This is the Mr. Fahrenheit. You can get this cigar. You can get this cigar on smallbatch.com, smallbatchcigars.com. And you go to the browser and you go to the top left, hit cigars, type it, go search for a Black Star Line, and you have maybe five different type of cigars you can select from. I really love this cigar. This is right here. It's called the Mr. Fahrenheit. Very great cigar. This is actually my fourth stick this weekend that I have for Black Star Line. So huge shout out to Mr. Eric Bay. I see you, man. Yeah, the learning curve of the first season of this episode of this season, Music and Cigars, was very intense. but we got through it. And I'm looking forward to shooting the second season in in person. Uh, uh, I can't. I love music and cigars. In case you haven't noticed, this is what this channel is about, and I wanted to discuss with you all uh, that today, is the Super Bowl Sunday. The game will be coming on in about an hour or so, and I just wanted to talk to you about your the halftime show. Well, it's been some controversy between whether or not Lil Wayne or deserves to go on the show, perform on the show versus Kendrick Lamar. And my take is, although I see how people uh, can see how maybe Lil Wayne deserves to perform on the show because he's from New Orleans, I feel like Kendrick Lamar within the last year has put on a lot of work, put in a lot of work towards performing. And even though that may have not even been his intent to even his goal to perform at the halftime show, the fact that outside people looking in approached him to perform on the show speaks volumes. He won 5 to 6 Grammys, I believe, during this year. I want to say 2 weeks ago, and the whole crowd, no matter what ethnicity you were, they all knew they not like us. And I'm looking forward to him performing at the halftime show. It's just something about that song, It got a good West Coast vibe to it, good little vibe, a good little West Coast vibe to it. And I mess with it. I like it. So another thing that I wanted to talk about was the new albums that came out this week. And this week, this Friday, I've been jamming to that Larry June featuring 2 Chainz. And man, when I say that album pairs well with this cigar, whoo, boy, look, get you a Mr. Fahrenheit cigar and listen to Life is Beautiful album by Larry June. And man, I'm gonna tell you, that whole track, that whole album is so smooth and it pairs well with this cigar that this is my fourth cigar, ladies and gentlemen. My fourth Mr. Fahrenheit cigar from Black Star Line Cigars. It just pairs well with it. So if you haven't already, go check out Larry June's album, Life is Beautiful. Very, very, very good album. I wish Mr. Larry June nothing but the best. 2 Chainz, I've been following him for a while, but I'm just not getting hip to Larry June. You know what I'm saying? I got hip to Larry June off of Primo Rice's album. I heard this song called Malaysia. And Malaysia just was just this vibe that you just kick back, relax on a nice summer day, and just chill, vibe, smoke your good cigar, hey, maybe have you something to drink and just chill and relax, vibe. So yeah, huge shout out to Larry June. Um, and last but not least, I wanted to discuss with you. Just this video was not that long because, like I said, I'm getting ready for the Super Bowl, but I did want to vlog today and tell you all about what's to come in the second season of Music and Cigars. Well, I have a partnership with a lounge, a local lounge of mine, Vintage Cigar Lounge, which will be shooting in-person interviews only. I might every once in a while do a virtual interview, depending upon who the guest is. But I'm shooting to actually have all of my episodes of the second season in person. I just recently scaled up, got me some more equipment, and I want to try shooting out a more elegant, more appealing show for Music and Cigar podcast. So if you haven't already, go check out the trailer of where we'll be shooting it. Uh, you can actually find the lounge if you're in Huntsville. You go to the lounge. It is at 355 Bridge Street, Suite 117. That's 355 Bridge Street, Suite 117. And like I said, this is a very nice upscale type of lounge, and the people there are very hospitable. The customer service is phenomenal. Shout out to John, shout out to Liam, shout out to Sierra and Mr. Nick, the owner of that lounge. I couldn't ask for a better lounge. Every time I go there, they take care of me. So, um, that's what I wanted to touch on today. I didn't want to give y'all too much at the beginning or at the end. Uh, y'all just have to stay tuned and uh, be aware of the new shows to come, the new episodes to come. Like I said, thank you so much for your support. I really enjoy doing this. I'm looking to do this full time. You know what I'm saying? It's been a passion of mine. I love podcasting and having good conversations with others. If you're interested in joining the show, if you're in the local area, if you're nearby, I would love to join me on the show on the second season. Visit musicandcigars.com and scroll down to the bottom and shoot me an email. My email, if that's too much for you, go to musicandcigars@gmail.com. Send me an email. I'm not hard on any social media. I'm not hard to find on any other social media platforms as well. So if you like to DM me, if you came across this, however you came across this, just reach out to me. And someone to get back with you, or I'll get back with you as soon as I can. And we can discuss maybe having you on the show at Vintage Cigar Lounge. Like I said, we're going to do in-person interviews. I'm looking forward to doing these interviews because, hey, what better way to talk about music and cigars at an actual lounge versus doing it virtually? I would love to collaborate with other podcasts, like-minded podcasts, which is music podcast or cigar podcast. I would like to have them onto the show as well. But like I always like to say, music and cigars is not just a thing. You know, it's a lifestyle. And so when you smoke cigars, you think about the past, the present, and the future. And like I said, you get a lot of networking, you get a lot of information, things you might not know when talking to people. And I'm looking forward to having people on to the show and talking about their experiences on music and cigars. And that concludes the end of this interview. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this channel. Hey, or follow me on Facebook at Music and Cigars. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, peace.